Before everything began, the universe itself was silent. No air, no medium, no sound could travel. Earth was born into that silence, an unnamed planet forming and spinning in the dark. If you traveled back 4.6 billion years, you might think Earth was quiet, but that's only because you wouldn't be able to hear it. Early Earth's atmosphere was thin, almost non-existent. Without air, sound could not travel far. But the surface was anything but calm. Meteorites rained down. Planetary debris slammed into the crust, releasing more energy than any nuclear weapon today. It was a silent hell. Volcanoes erupted constantly. Lava flooded the surface. The crust was unstable, cracks opening like wounds. If you stood there, you would see shaking fire collapse, but hear nothing. Not because it was quiet, but because sound had not yet been born. Sound requires air. Air came from volcanoes, chemical reactions, and eventually life. As microbes transformed the atmosphere, oxygen accumulated and sound finally had a stage. Wind began to howl. Thunder began to roar. Waves struck rock for the first time. Earth was heard for the first time. Early Earth was not gentle, nor was it peaceful. It simply had no audience, no ears, no life to feel fear. That wasn't peace. It was chaos without perception. Today you hear wind, rain, thunder, waves. That is not guaranteed. It took Earth billions of years to earn that sound. Early Earth was not silent. It was simply unheard. We often describe silence as quiet, but in physics, true silence is not low volume. It is the absence of sound transmission. On early Earth, even as continents cracked apart, even as impacts melted the crust, these events could still occur in complete silence. Not because they lacked power, but because without air there was no sound. Imagine being placed on Earth 4 billion years ago. No suit, no protection. You would not hear explosions. You wouldn't even hear yourself scream. You would only see shock waves pushing rock, fire consuming the horizon, the sky flashing white. Then everything ends. This isn't quiet. This is sound never getting the chance to exist. Before the oceans formed, there were no waves, no shores, no low, constant background noise. The surface was dry, broken, exposed. Rocks expanded, contracted, shattered under extreme temperature shifts. If you could hear it, you would hear the planet breaking apart. But you couldn't. As the atmosphere thickened, as vapor condensed, the first true rain fell. It may have been the first amplified sound in Earth's history. Raindrops striking lava, steam exploding instantly, sound waves running through air for the first time. That was the moment Earth became audible. Even when sound existed, nothing could understand it. No ears, no nerves, no fear. Sound existed but had no meaning. Only with life did sound become warning, direction, communication. We often imagine lifeless planets as calm, quiet, dead, but reality may be the opposite. Worlds without life are often more violent, just without witnesses. Silence exists because nothing survives to remember. You hear the world because the world allows you to exist. Sound is not background noise. It is proof that Earth opened itself to life. Early Earth was not quiet, it was simply before us. Modern Earth has never truly been silent. Even at night in the wilderness, at the poles, there is always wind, electricity, the low hum of the Earth's crust. Early Earth had no background noise, no persistent wind because the atmosphere was unstable, no waves because oceans did not yet exist, no ambient sounds. Every event existed independently. Before life appeared, before climate formed, Earth's rhythm came from impacts, once, again, without warning. Meteorites were not rare events. They were commonplace. If you could hear it, that sound would be like irregular drum beats pounding on a planet's skeleton. Early Earth's crust was much thinner than today's. No cooling, unstable. Impacts and eruptions produced no echoes, no resonance. Energy was directly absorbed, vanishing into the molten interior. The world was being destroyed, without echo. No daily rhythms, no seasons, no migrations, no breeding cycles. Time had not yet been divided by life. In such a world, quiet and loud had no meaning, only events. Then, nothing. The first thing affected by sound was not animals, not predators, not fear, but chemistry. Vibrations changed molecular arrangements. Impacts altered reaction rates. Sound waves entered Earth's chemical history. Before life appeared, sound shaped matter. If you could instantly place today's atmosphere on early Earth, what would you hear? You would hear continuous rumbling, consecutive volcanic eruptions, tearing of the crust, chains of meteor impacts. That wouldn't be a symphony. It would be uncontrolled noise. Humans fear loud sounds because sound signals approaching danger. But on early Earth, the most dangerous moments were often completely silent. No warning, no countdown, no sound, only the end. Earth's true turning point was not when sound first existed, but when something could hear it. From that moment on, the world was no longer just happening. It began to be experienced. We are born on a planet with wind, rain, echoes. That is not the beginning of Earth. That is the result of billions of years of chaos. Early Earth was not silent. It just had no life to call the chaos sound. Sound teaches us distance, far thunder, near thunder, low, sharp. On early Earth, without sound, distance lost its meaning. When disaster struck, you wouldn't know where it came from, because you couldn't hear far away. The world had no sense of direction, only the present moment. Modern Earth whispers even when it's quiet. Leaves brushing, water sliding over stone, air in motion. Early Earth had none of that. No softness, no gradual transitions. Everything was sudden, everything was extreme. Fear usually begins with sound, footsteps, growls, approaching vibration. On early Earth, even if life had existed, fear could not be heard. Danger did not announce itself, it simply happened. Sound is anticipation. It tells you, something hasn't happened yet, but it will. A world without sound has no anticipation, only outcomes. When oceans formed, sound was muted for the first time. Water absorbed high frequencies, distance compressed, direction blurred. Oceans didn't make Earth louder. They taught Earth how to hide sound. Even today, the deep ocean resembles early Earth. Darkness, pressure, distorted, delayed sound. The deep sea is a memory Earth kept, a reminder of what the whole planet once was. With sound, the world became predictable. Changing wind meant weather, low rumbles meant movement. Before that, the world could not be learned. You couldn't infer the future from the past. Silence is a feeling, not a condition. Before life, Earth had no silence and no noise. There was only physics. Sound turns events into stories. Distant thunder foreshadows incoming rain. Early Earth had no narrative, no continuity. Events happened, then vanished. We were not born into silence. When we arrived, Earth was already loud. Wind existed, oceans moved, thunder rolled, which means we arrived late. True silence is not on Earth, it is in space. Where there is no air, Earth no longer belongs to silence. We think silence belongs to the world, but in truth it belongs to the observer. Rocks don't feel quiet. Volcanoes don't feel loud. Before life, Earth was neither silent nor noisy. Early life did not need sound. It needed energy, chemistry, time. Sound came late, later than vision, later than touch, which means early life lived in a soundless world. Imagine removing all sound from Earth today. No wind, no rain, no thunder. The world would still function, but you would feel uneasy. That was early Earth, operating normally yet beyond perception. Sound makes the world feel real. You hear footsteps, so you believe someone is near. You hear thunder, so you believe the storm exists. A silent world feels like an illusion. Early Earth was like an unrendered scene. Structures existed, rules existed, but details were not yet enabled. Sound was one of the last features to turn on. If sound never existed, life might still exist, but there would be no warnings, no rhythm, no music. It would be a world that could never be understood. You wake up every day surrounded by sound. But this is not the universe's default. It is Earth's privilege. Sound is a condition few planets ever achieve. We often talk about atmosphere, but atmosphere requires air. Without an atmosphere, there is no mood, no tension, no emotion. Early Earth had no atmosphere in every sense. When sound appeared, The world responded to itself for the first time. Thunder returned to valleys. Waves returned to shores. It was the first time Earth heard itself. True silence is not now and not in the future. It exists before life, not as a place, but as a time that cannot be remembered. Sound needs three things: a sound source, a medium, and a listener. Early Earth possibly had a sound source and eventually had a medium, but no listener. Nothing cared what the world was doing. On early Earth, events kept happening. But happening is not experiencing. An eruption is not spectacular. Destruction is not terrible. These words need life. Sound creates tension. Distant rumbles let you anticipate what's coming. In a world without sound, no buildup, no suspense, only results suddenly arriving. We live in the present because we hear the passage of time. Rhythm, repetition, echoes divide time into moments. Early Earth had no present, only endless continuation. Sound creates layers: foreground, midground, background, above, below, behind. In a silent world, everything is flat. Distance exists, but cannot be perceived. When life began using sound, natural selection changed. Those who could hear survived. Those who couldn't disappeared. Sound became a survival tool. Earth didn't get louder because it got worse. It got louder because life proliferated. Sound is a byproduct of abundance. Humans fear true silence because it doesn't resemble Earth. It resembles space. It resembles before life emerged. Silence reminds us we arrived late. If one day Earth becomes silent again, that doesn't mean peace. That means listeners disappeared. Sound is not decoration, not background. It is existence responding to existence. When the world makes sound, that means it is being perceived.